Good afternoon. As I promised, later today I will start to speak. Not to start. I will continue to speak. Start a new video or series of video. We'll see how it goes on the subject of a method, the Soviet method of the Israeli intelligence. It's really, I will say again that for me it's like, to testify like on a trial, of like sexual abuse when you were the victim. It's, something that's many people like, that our victims do not want to do because it's so, disgusting and uncomfortable to them. So I found myself in a similar position. Even speaking about it is so disgusting, and you will excuse me if I will like deviate from the main subject and speak about like, general things and philosophy that surrounds like the actual practice, because it's so disgusting. But I will make an effort to speak about what actually they do, because it's very important, I think, and should be recorded for the benefit of everyone that cares about even the semblance of democracy and the civil rights, human rights, I would say. What I want to do now is to speak like very, very shortly regarding the current situation, of the criminal trial. Because yes, I've spoken like, about the character arc, like what main motivations actually brought a person like me to the gutters of society. But I will want to speak very concisely about the current situation in the practical terms for people that are not aware of it. So the issue is like that. Presumably, I was arrested like, at the beginning of last December for, the allegation of threatening against my significant other. Now, the main problem with this kind of like indictment is that it never happened, because at the time I wasn't open to the general internet, as you know. Most of you didn't have like the opportunity to actually listen to my videos, or like, only the intelligence services that actually bugged my phones or iPads or like various devices actually could at the time follow me. If you just, even access to the echelon at the time was not enough to, and access to the echelon is quite, is handed quite liberally by the Americans. But even that would not have been enough at the time to actually, like, get like first-hand impressions of my videos, because this was not open to the public. It was in like the private internet zone. I don't know if zone is the correct term, because I'm not sure. Like, in AWS they have regions and zones, and it's similar like in many other like, so something, it's actually like, technically it's higher than zone. It's like, it's a different, in AWS they have like, the government, internet, which is separate. But the technicalities are not important. The important thing is that it never happened. Because it couldn't have been happened. The supposed threatening were taking place in Twitter, but I didn't have access to Twitter at the time. So the supposed crime never happened. I would say that even if like it was in the open internet, I argue that there was no threatening in my words. I never intended to threaten anybody, and I never threatened anybody. And just by taking like, by listening to the Hebrew text, the Hebrew words, and most certainly by watching the other videos that are related to my artistic vocation, that is the main issue of the video, which is explicitly said so. You can understand that there was no threatening, and I never wished to threaten anyone, and I never threatened anyone. But moreover, this, the actual action never took place, because it couldn't have been taken place, because I had no access to the general internet at the time. This was all a ploy of the Shabak. Now, what they wanted me is what they already wanted me to be their shoe, and that's the way they are. But let's speak about the current situation. So I'm in a house arrest, not in my, I am homeless. So I'm in house arrest in like, in a hostel for homeless people that of course is managed by the Shabak and full of like Shabakniks that try to, as usual, as I spoke about in the character video, so you understand what they want and why they will never, like, they cannot have any success with it. So what we have now is kind of like a conundrum because everyone is now losing, and this, of course, is, I mean, the character is just, I mean, primitive, barbarous societies. Like, I mean, that like everybody is losing because the Shabak, they understand that they will never get the nanobots. They will never be. I will never be their slave. And now, less than ever, it makes no sense because I'm like surrounded by people that I have nothing in common with, and I don't even know their names, and they understand it. What the Shabak now wants more than everything is just to close the business. I mean, to close the operation because it costs them money, and they don't like to lose money. I mean, their main primary objective is to get money. Loot is their main like source of income. But how can they close it? I mean, just say, tell the court. I mean, yeah. I mean, the whole place is just a charade, and everything is a charade. I mean, free this person. That's what they need to do, but they don't want to do it because they don't want to look like idiots. Of course, that's what they should do. They should, confess their crimes and, set me free today. But they will not do it because, it's not an organization that takes responsibility for their actions. So what they try to do for a long time now is make me run away. They actually succeeded in doing it at my mother's apartment because before I was actually arrested here, I was in house arrested in my mother's apartment where many videos and a lot of research was taking place, but I was in great torture there. And they actually made me run away and I violated the terms of the arrest because I couldn't stand the torture. But now it's more difficult for them to do it because there is more international scrutiny because of the fence. So now I'm subject to less torture, significantly less torture than what I was subjected to at the house arrest in my mother's apartment because of the international scrutiny and the defense service. So, without this kind of like torture, why would I run away? Knowing that, they want me to run away just because they know that then, I will be a violation of the house arrest, and I will be, arrested like until the end of the proceeding somewhere, the next December or something like that, in jailhouse, which will be nightmare for me, and of course, cruel and cruel injustice. But what do they care? They just want to close the business, close this losing operation. So they try to incite me to live in all sorts of like very ridiculous ways. But why should I do it? Unless I'm being tortured here, why should I do such a ridiculous thing? So of course I will not do it. And they cannot torture me to the same extent that they had like in my mother's apartment because of the international scrutiny and because of that is a result of the defense service. Now they are. They shot themselves in the head as usual. That's how Joes are. That's, it's like, as they say in Hebrew, classical etet. It's like, classic record. Stupid people that, like to, shoot themselves in the head. Yeah, metaphorically. Yeah, classic record of people that, try to, to gain, like, money and wealth, and without any like moral justification, and then now they don't want to know how to end this ridiculous operation because I'm not running away because I will then be arrested until the end of the proceeding. They don't want to confess their crimes to the courtroom because why should they? They never do such a thing. It's not in the menu. Like it's not something that's on the table. Now, I would say, even if the court is part of the people inside, like the attorney or like the police or like the court know about about all this stuff that I speak about, it doesn't matter because in the courtroom, what matters is also what's on the table, like what's like on the record. So it doesn't matter if they know or do not know. Someone should put it like confess and formally put paper in records, like formal records that will be submitted to the courtroom in order for the courtroom to do anything at all. That's the way the system works. The courtroom doesn't do. No one in the court system or in the police or in the attorney, whatever, they don't do things out of their heads. They need some kind of a recorded paper that will be the trigger of any action. So it doesn't matter if they know or do not know, if they're part of the plot or not part of the plot. These questions, I mean, they are meaningless because what matters is only what is like submitted to the court. And no one will submit anything to the court because no one wants to, I mean, it's the prime, like, I mean, directive to never, like, stand behind directions. Supposedly, it's the prime directive of any intelligence service, but, I mean, it's not the point right now to discuss this theoretical issue. So, they don't have any way to terminate this losing operation in this hostel, because why should they run away? And they don't get anything from me because why should they get anything from me? And of course, this situation is greatly, I mean, I'm not, like, I would have wanted to be free, but I mean, how could I be freed? I mean, I need like the police, like, the police is important because, I mean, it's like the תביעה משטרתית, it's like, I mean, the police prosecution are the ones that's handling the case. They handle most of the case, like, the cases, like, I mean, like, I mean, התביעה הציבורית, like, I mean, like, the DA, the parallel to the DA in Israel only deals with like 10% of the cases, like, which are the more severe ones. And this is, I mean, extremely non-severe case that is based on nothing at all because nothing was done. Like, I mean, nothing at all. So how do we get out of here? We can't. We can't without anyone in Israel standing behind their scenes and submitting formal papers to the court. Now, I would say that currently my own attorney, which is like not a private one because it was appointed by the country, by them, free of charge, so he said to me, like, I mean, okay, give me, like, I mean, videos on a CD-ROM or something that, I mean, that will explain, like, your version of, like, the video that, I mean, that is based on that supposedly the crime is based on this video. But of course, no such a video was ever handed to any court because I was arrested based on a video that the police showed, like, in real time to the judge while I was in the room, like in the courtroom. That was the basis of my arrest. I'm still arrested based on this fact. They showed the judge the actual video, like in a phone, just like the phone that I'm holding right now. And of course, that they do have access to this, like, internet zone, so they don't have problem to show him this one. So of course, I mean, so I was arrested based on a video that was not, like, publicly available to everyone. But now I need to supply a defense that presumably will, like, be, I mean, an admission from my part that these videos are publicly available to anyone. But I mean, they obviously do not publicly available to everyone. I mean, this is like a clear fact. But how can you convey this fact to the court? I don't know, because ultimately, it's not really like, I mean, kind of like a courtroom that is, like, based on, like, I mean, you know, different versions of the truth and, like, kind of like arbitration or mediations to get to the real truth. It's only about power, as you understand. I mean, who possesses more power? That's the question. Like, it's a power struggle that is like, I mean, dressed like a courtroom theater. And this relates to everything that I speak about, like, for so long. That, I mean, my life is a series of theater shows. I mean, anyone that listens to me even, like, for a short while, and it's definitely, I mean, people that, I mean, following for a long time understand that, like, I mean, I became, like, a relatively good judge of, like, acting abilities of people because, I mean, I'm always in a theater show. I mean, I'm always, wherever I go, I'm like, there are people, I mean, doing the theater shows and movies around me. That's the sad fact of my life. I always live in kind of like, I mean, like in an ongoing, like, movie criticism or theater criticism that I need to understand, like, I mean, what kind of theater is taking place, and I mean, what's the qualities and what's the motivations, and who are the directors, and what's their previous, like, filmography. Like a living IMDb. That's my life, and It's very sad, but I don't have any way out of it. I need foreign intervention to get me out of it. I can't do it myself. I live in an endless theater show, and I don't have any way to break out of it without international intervention. So this is the situation right now, and we can continue with doing all sorts of like research, and I will update you later. And also, as I said, I will finally speak about the method that is so important.